Welcome back to the Violent Life podcast. I'm with Theoren, Thorn, and I'm Lucas MMA. We're going to recap this previous fight night, Ankalaev versus Guskov, and then we're going to break down our upcoming fight night, Medic and D-Rod. So just to start off, the first two fights on the main card of this were, I gotta say, not fun to watch. Vagaev and Isakmaev, it was a very, very boring, kind of slow-paced fight. There was no real moments where you thought someone was going to get finished. Vagaev ended up winning a unanimous 29-28 decision. If you missed it, you don't need to go rewatch it because you didn't miss anything. Kuniev versus Fortune. I don't know, man. These guys, for heavyweight, I mean, Fortune we kind of knew was a bum with that Marcin Tybura fight. And Kuniev
disliked heavyweight, right?
Dude, and Kuniev, like, listen, everyone's talking about how good he looks and how in shape he looks. And yeah, he moves well for heavyweight, but I thought that this fight was pretty boring. I thought it was, Kuniev was chasing Fortune, and there was no real action until he just caught him in the third. So, we got a finish, which was fun, but not exactly a barn burner. John Pork versus, what's this guy's first name? Damian Chepesky. Dude, I don't know if you got to catch this. This was...
I saw the highlights, and it looked like he put on like a master class on the feet. Like, it looked like he was just teeing off at will on the dude.
Dude, it was getting... It started off a little slower paced, and then as the fight built, Chenko was just too much for him, man. And
he looked good with striking on the outside and the inside, dude. Like when he was clinching up, slamming elbows and stuff, I was like, man, he's good at mixing it up, dude. He's not just like one skill base. He's got a lot of tools that he uses.
Yeah. I mean, first round, I was definitely questioning. I was like, wow, was the hype of Chenko like real? And by the end, I was like all in. But I do have to say, man, Chepesky was a dog. They got to give him another shot.
Yeah, he was getting cut up pretty bad. He ate some big shots throughout the fight too. So I mean, he didn't go out there, roll over, and die. So that's something you always got to take your hat off to, dude.
UFC debut against this like big name that's also debuting. I mean,
right?
Yeah, I thought Chepesky showed a lot of heart. I want to see him back. Give him at least one more shot. John Pork, I mean, whenever he's ready to get back in there, that was a blast. And the hype is real so far. Moving on, Temirov versus Steve Erceg, bro. This was pretty funny, man. This was, first round knockout for Temirov. I predicted this to happen exactly as it did. Steve Erceg has no chin. Anybody still backing Steve Erceg in 2026 needs to turn on their TV and watch the fights because Steve Erceg hasn't been good in so long.
Do you think Steve is a? It's not. This is a horrible comparison, but he had the performance against Pantoja, and it was like. You people were saying, oh, you could have given Steve this, and then I don't think he's won since, has he? He's like ranked 10 now. They gave him unranked Temirov, and then just gets flatlined. And I know this is like a bad comparison because Cody Garbrandt actually beat Dominic Cruz, but do you think it's like going to be similar to Cody Garbrandt, where he's just going to chin by everyone, and he's just going to keep losing after he had his lightning in the bottle fight?
That's kind of what I was expecting because you're right. Right after that fight, he got knocked out by Kai, but he did go to decision 3 times. Moreno, Osborne, and Tim Elliott. I mean, Ode Osborne almost had him out of there.
Yeah,
but he also has shown that he's chinny. So it's I think it is going to be a very similar to Cody Garbrandt because we've gotten to the point now where with Cody, it's like, oh, is he gonna get knocked out or is he gonna be able to pull this one off? And
Cody's like like a flyweight Todd Duffy. I don't know if you remember him. Like, dude, like just a glass cannon. It's like it only takes him one shot, but if he eats one shot, that's a wrap. And I don't know, man. Like, I feel like flyweight's a cool division. Like, you can get some. I want to see like Manel Cape and Kai Car France for like a number one contender fight because, dude, they're just gonna talk so much shit. They're gonna be an awesome fight. I know they're talking like Joshua Van and Pantoja coming up soon, so it's gonna be like this will be sick, and that have those guys run it back because I mean that fucking arm break is just unfortunate. But then you got dude, Car France versus Manel Cape, that's a banger. Like, I'm not the only I can't be the only one who thinks that. Like, dude, that fight's gonna be sick. Manel Cape,
dude,
fucking dude, he's so hilarious. He's a good fighter, man. He talks so much shit too. I love it.
The both of them, man. I mean, shit. I know a lot of people think Kai's a little corny, but his whole haka, like doing the face and all that. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Did you see when the Manel Cape the post fight where they pulled the mic away from him because he was fucking saying, "Kai Car France, you are a bitch and you are a faggot," and they took the mic away. I was like, that shit was so funny. It's like these guys will put on like these guys like they'll give such like gem moments. Like we gotta have them fight, dude. Like it's been so long, and then like I said, have them be a number one contender fight, bro. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. Cause like okay, I know Van hasn't cleaned out the division. He's got one title defense, but Pantoja was like trending that way until he fought Van. You know, I mean, it was like who else you can have this guy fight? But
yeah, I mean, so. I think with Kai, I think if I'm correct, Kai's been out since...
He hasn't fought this year, I think.
Yeah, he's been out since he lost to Pantoja, I believe.
Yep.
So, I mean, as far as a contender fight, you couldn't do that. And also, I think Manel is going to be, like, kind of prissy and sit out because he just had his contender fight with Horiguchi. But,
yeah, true.
I mean, yo, honestly... I think Horiguchi and Kai Car France would be fireworks.
Yeah, that's another good one too. You can get Urseg out of the title mix though, man. I think that ship sailed a long time ago. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's kind of like the Rocky versus Apollo Creed 1. You know, just random bum gets the shot and does really well. Like.
Right.
I mean, come on. Steve Urseg got a title shot. Knocking out Matt Schnell.
Yeah. And he did show up fight night, which was crazy, man. He put on a real good performance fight night, but since then he's just been kind of like you know the Mythic Fighter, Urseg versus Pantoja on whatever the date is a Mythic Fighter, bro, because he almost pulled it off, and then now he's lost that Mythic Fighter status.
It's, listen, it was cool to see. I think Pantoja is a really good fighter, but he's not someone that I'm always going to be rooting for. So seeing Steve Urseg get thrown in the mix was cool, but,
right.
I
think Pantoja is just so good at what he does. His takedowns, his back control system is... I think that's what has got a lot of his success down. Like he's got very good. I mean, he's got very well-rounded striking, but I think his like how he takes the back, how he gets on guys' backs, his takedown, his whole sequencing is really really good. I mean, I think that's what's like I said, setting him apart in the division, what made him champion.
Yeah, and I'm inclined to think that skill-wise, if you go skill versus skill. And throw Pantoja and Van back in there, Pantoja should win that fight.
Yeah, because who did Van just beat?
Tyra.
Dude, Tyra. Granted, when Josh started finding his mark, he found his mark. Dude, Tyra and granted, Tyra's a dog. Tyra was still very hurt and able to take Van down, which. Like I said, Tyra, like it's like apples to oranges with the grappling. You can say, oh well, Tyra's the better wrestler, whatever. But you can be the better wrestler on paper and still not be able to do worse wrestling. if that makes any sense. And I think Tyra is the better wrestler on paper, but I think Pantoja's MMA grappling is so good that I think he won't give Van those opportunities, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I think if Van can make it fucking dirty and just start teeing off like he did against Tyra, then it's gonna be a short night.
Yeah, you gotta really like push the pace early to get the age factor out of
Yes.
Pantoja. That's where
Yeah.
that's gonna show, and I think that's where Van's gonna. But I mean, you know what? If you remember, dude, when they started in the last one, they started off cracking, and that was
Yes.
why it was such a bummer that it ended like that because they were going at it hard, and you know, it's. I'm excited for that one to finally get solidified, finally get a definitive answer on who wins that, and
Me
kind of get
too.
the division moving.
Exactly. I feel like you said, we got robbed from a really what was going to be a really good fight, and I've been seeing maybe like in I saw someone mentioning that they might fight in within the next like 3 or 4 UFC cards. It's like, God, that still seems kind of early, bro, for a break like that. Is but then again, who knows?
I don't, out of what I'm seeing kind of being scheduled, that doesn't seem like that's going to be something we see.
Because I
Uh,
saw I saw a guy talking about maybe the MSG card, and I'm like, that's in like what 3 months? That'd be too soon still, I think.
yeah, no, the only fight I'm hearing that's rumored for there is Hokit and Pereira.
I feel like who did I want to see Hokic fight? Who's the other heavyweight? I don't like that fight for Alex just because how he looked against Cyril. And I feel like if Hokic wanted to, he can take him down at will. And I think that Hokic's just such a fast heavyweight, dude. And honestly, I'm not trying to overhype the guy. I think he's as fast as like not as fast as Gone, but I think he's like almost as fast as Gone. Like the way Gone moves at heavyweight is insane. Like I know I'm not a Gone fan, but dude, the guy's nuts with his striking, his footwork, his speed, everything. He's very very his jab, dude, that thing is such a difference maker the way he utilizes it, and I feel like a lot of guys aren't. And I mean, Alex also fighting. Alex couldn't come over the top because he just couldn't get over the top of that jab. Gon was just so fast with it, and I feel like Hokic will kind of open up in that same way and really fly on Alex. I know I'm getting off topic, but I just that's what I
No,
think.
that's a good. Yeah, I honestly, that matchup intrigues me because I
Hokic's a
don't think.
problem at heavyweight, dude. I think he's a
But
huge problem.
also Hokit's on the shorter side, I think, right? Like
He's on the shorter side, and he only comes in at like 230, man.
Hokit's 6'1". What's Pereira, like 6'5"?
6'3" or 6'4", I think.
So okay, so a relative size advantage. I mean, I don't
And
know. Yeah.
I might be tripping about this, but I think I talked to David about this. The way Alex looked compared to Gone, Alex looked like kind of soft in there on the White House card, whereas Gone looked like a real heavyweight. Like he looked chiseled out of stone, looked huge, fast. Alex looks slow, man. He looks slow. He looked kind of soft. Like usually, I know because he's not cutting down to 205, and obviously you're going to be a little bit more cut up and 185 at that. But I just think him carrying that extra weight, his body's just not. I won't say not used to it. His body just doesn't move the same carrying that extra weight, and I think you over put on weight. To be honest with you,
Yeah. Yeah, I
and I
mean,
think that's going to be a big curve for him to figure out. You know.
realistically, I mean, listen, we can have fun watching Alex Pereira keep fighting these guys, but
Yeah.
realistically, Alex can just retire, bro. He's got nothing left to prove. Like
Yeah.
he's always going to be respected as a legend of this sport, and there's, I mean, there's not like what is there? What's the smart next step for Alex? Does he pursue heavyweight or does he move back to light heavyweight? Like, I just don't see a logical step for him other than retire.
And if he doesn't retire, I think going back down to 205, I think the guys there just might hit too hard. I'm not saying I'm not saying he doesn't have a chin, but I think his weight cut had a lot to do with him getting cracked. He doesn't really have a lot of guys that's got to fight a light heavyweight. He decimated round 3. He knocked out Ankalaev. He flatlined Yuri. So it's like, what's he got to do? I'm hoping Paulo Costa puts his way in the mix of that 205 division, man. I feel like Paulo's going to be a problem at this new weight class, but we'll see. I just got to see Paulo if he can take shots from guys like that. I think a big test for Costa would be Khalil Roundtree. And I know, again, I'm jumping around, but I think Roundtree's a good test. And I think they're going to go out there and bang, dude. Like, they're going to go out there, go to freaking war. So that fight I would like to see at 205 to kind of see, because like I said, how long has it been? Blachowicz fights this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Blachowicz in the mix. Ankalaev, Yuri, and I feel like and Alex, but Alex isn't there anymore. Like, dude, it's so top heavy outside of those 3-4 guys.
Well, this brings us right to our main event, Ankalaev Guskov.
Up to the main event. Go ahead.
It was 4.5 rounds of kind of a staring contest. Ankalaev just pushing the pace, Guskov running away, and then Ankalaev was able to find the arm triangle.
And then catches him.
It was one of the most anticlimactic 5-round fights with a finish that I've ever seen.
That's how I felt, man. That's the one fight I was able to catch on this card that I didn't watch highlights, and I just there was a point where I got up for a round and a half because I'm like, fuck. I think between rounds 2 and 3, I just walked off because I was like, all right, I'm gonna go because it's almost like fuck, man. Like, you're getting your reads and you're just not pulling the trigger. And I feel like that's what Ankalaev does a lot. Like, he just kind of, like you said, he kind of sits there and waits, and then he'll cut the distance. He'll be in your face, but he's not doing anything. And it's like, I don't know. Like I said, as a fighter, I don't like to judge other fighters, but I feel like outside looking in, he's been doing that a lot lately, and I don't know, man. Well, it's hard. It's hard to get behind him and say, yeah, dude, I can't wait. Like, no one's saying I can't wait to watch the next Ankalaev fight. You know what I mean? No one's sitting around saying that shit right now. No one. And it's fights like this. Like, yeah, finish in the 5th. But it wasn't like a climactic finish. It wasn't like this was a back and forth war. This shit was such a good fight. It was just kind of monotonous, and then Ank finally got it. I don't know.
And it's funny because before we started recording, you had kind of mentioned that, at one point Ankalaev was such a scary dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, if we look back now, what was scary then? You got what? Okay, he finished Johnny Walker. He finished Anthony Smith. He went to decision with Thiago Santos, decision with Ozdemir, decision with Krylov. He finished Kudalaba. On it when he was rising, that seemed like, oh my gosh. But now looking back, it's like, what a shit record. That's not impressive at all. And I don't know. I don't.
Those guys, except for Walker, aren't even in the UFC now. I think Santos did Santos stop fighting, or is he out of the UFC? I think he might have been on a PFL card, unless I'm tripping.
I think he was on some. Yeah, I think he was on PFL. Yeah, Rakic is still in. Johnny's still in.
Rakic fights this weekend. Rakic is at heavyweight now.
Yeah,
and Rakic is someone I thought would beat Ankalaev too, but yeah.
Well, Rakic, man, I was very
barn burner. That's a barn burner next weekend, bro, or this weekend. Ty Burrow versus Rakic.
I mean, that's
a dream, bro.
I should just place a whale bet on Rakic, but I don't know if I trust him not to be stupid.
Watch Ty Burrow come out and just chin him right out the gate.
Dude, that would be so frustrating.
I'm just gonna bro. What is Ty Burrow? Ty Burrow's got to be 0 and something or 1 and something in UFC, right, man? He can't.
If we're going in the UFC, I mean, just going his full pro record, he's 27-11.
Right.
If we're going UFC, let me calculate here. Here we go. Losses and wins. There's 2 losses, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss. And then actually he had a crazy little win streak.
I feel like heavyweights just changed so much to where like his skill set isn't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like you got guys like Aspinall, Gone, Hokit, and I'm gonna even say Curtis Blades now too, because Curtis Blades went out there and had a war with Hokit, to be honest. Who can kind of not even do it all, but just they're like not just looking for one shot to put you down. They can actually set shit up and like put you away. Like the Tiburas and the Tuivasa heavyweight that we kind of have had for the past decade and a half are kind of going away.
Yeah, we're not seeing the success like at all, and you can't just be a fat dude now. Like
Yeah.
that's worked for so long. Be a fat dude and maybe get your boxing a little right, and you'll relatively do well. I mean, granted, when we're talking about Tibura, I would say Tibura was a little bit beyond that. He wasn't as successful as some of those guys, but Tibura's jiu-jitsu was, I think, a lot better than most of the typical fat guy, heavyweights. But it's not been enough to do anything for him where he can pick up a significant win streak. He's going 2 losses, then 1 win, another loss, 2 wins, 2 losses, and it's just, this is another guy, man, that, like, honestly, I feel like 2026 we need to end the year with just a whole list of retirees, because something's got to change.
What do you think for the fight, though? Because this is Rakic's heavyweight debut, I think. So, what do you think about it? And he's a big favorite, bro. He's minus 340 for his heavyweight debut.
I mean, he should win. Theoretically, he has way better striking than Tibura. And he's only been finished by Azamat, Yuri, and Blachowicz. And the Blachowicz wasn't even a real, that was a leg injury. So I don't know, man. I think that Rakic is a pretty safe play. You just got to watch out for Tibura's wild shots.
Yeah, like you said, it's not like he. You think Tibura tries to take him down?
I mean, that seems like maybe that's just the way to do it, but.
And then it's like Rakic has like 10 knockouts, and it's like how does his power translate to heavyweight? Because that's another thing. New weight class, you're fighting a guy who's naturally a heavyweight, and maybe Rakic shouldn't, because Rakic's he's gigantic. He's probably could have been heavyweight the whole time, but I don't know, man. Like looking at it, I think I would lean towards Rakic, but it's like, dude, at minus 340, it's like, what are you gonna get out of it?
Yeah, I don't think I would play any individual money on that. Maybe if I were to parlay something, that might be a good leg. But honestly,
the fight to not go to the distance, that'd be the only.
I was gonna say parlay, or bet Rakic by finish, because I mean, if you look at it, Rakic has a 86% takedown defense rate. So with that type of rate, with the opponents he's gone against, I don't see Tibura being able to get it down, especially in the first, which is where it's gonna matter. And,
right.
I mean,
when Tibura is fresh, if you can't take him down fresh, he'll gas out first for sure.
Yeah, 100%,
for sure.
But yeah, I would say I'm pretty confident. I'm thinking a first round knockout for Rakic. I'm thinking a first round knockout, Rakic. I just don't think that Tibura is going to be able to hang with him on the feet or on the ground. And this is going to be a sad day for the Tibura family.
2 questions. What do you think about the fight, and then what do you think about Navajo Sterling?
Okay, so Navajo Sterling versus Jan Blachowicz, man. I really like Navajo Sterling. For the most part, I thought he's looked really good. The last fight against Kudalaba, I thought Kudalaba was having a bit more success than he should have, which made me nervous for Navajo, which is why I think that this might be too much of a step for Navajo this early. I think Jan Blachowicz has got the experience to. I just don't. I love Navajo Sterling. I don't see a route for Navajo to win. I think Jan's gonna. Well, if he wants to wrestle him, he's gonna wrestle him. I think if he wants to outstrike him, I don't think we're gonna see Jan get hurt. I think this is Jan's fight, and I'm not a fan of Navajo stepping up to this spot because
Jan's a huge dog right now too. He's plus 260 and Navo's minus 320. I think that line's just atrocious. I don't. All right, hot take. I just don't think he's that like special. Like they think this guy's gonna be the next Izzy, some killer from City Kickboxing. I don't see it, dude. I don't think he's that impressive. Like I remember watching his UFC debut and I was like, what the fuck, man? I don't even know who he went to decision against, but I was watching it. He knocked out Kudalaba, like you said, though. Kudalaba was catching the mark a little bit. I think Blachowicz can put him away easy. I think Blachowicz can catch him. I know Blachowicz is older. He's got the age on him, but, dude, I'm starting to see a lot of guys now are some of the best fighters in the UFC are kind of approaching their 40s, which is interesting. You got a few guys that are under 25 that are fucking good. Then, like, the rest of the pack is, like, the older grizzled vets are kind of like the guys who are still around, like giving problems. I think, like you said, I think this is a little bit too early to get thrown to Jan. And he had the majority decision in his last fight against Guskov. He had the decision that lost against Olberg. He had the split decision against Pereira, which, to be honest, dude, I like Pereira. Pereira lost that fucking fight. I think Jan took him down 2 or 3 rounds and just controlled him, and the fight hardly stood up. And then he had the split draw against Ankalaev. He's had 2 split draws, a majority draw and a split draw. And then he's got the win against Rakic, which is his last one. So he's kind of on a 2-fight losing streak, and then he's 0-2-2. But look at the guys he's fought: Rakic, Ankalaev, Pereira, Olberg, who's the champ right now. Lost to Teixeira in a title fight. I'm still sold on him, bro. I'm still sold on him. He still has got that knockout power that's never going to go away. He can still finish you by submission. I think he goes out there and plants him, to be honest with you. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just want to see more of him from him out there, bro. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not a good striker. I'm just not a fan of the striking. I think I need to see a little bit more from him. This fight would be nice to see it, and maybe one more, and I'll start buying into it. I take a minute to get sold on guys like that. Corey Sandhagen.
I think that this is where he's gonna show, whether he's one of these up and comers or not. And I feel like, it's funny if you look at it. A lot of the fans have been like really shitting on the lineup of fights that we've had and have coming up, and I feel like watching every single event back to back, the theme that I've been noticing in the last few fight cards, and even this one, is it's all been about like kind of showcasing the young generation. Not every single fight is someone that we're super interested in, but in the last few weeks, we had Walter Walker, we had Chanko, Tommy McMillan, we had Ezra Elliott. Like, we got these guys that, we're getting a glimpse of the future. As much as we're talking about Alex Pereira needs to retire, Ty Buren needs to retire, you could throw Gaethje in there, needs to retire. We got all these guys that, we've been talking about forever that kind of need to retire. And I do think we're seeing this glimpse of the next generation. And Navajo has his chance to show us if he's going to be one of those guys.
No, I agree with that. And I think it's like a fight boomer when I say this. Like, I feel like just because we're not seeing any more of like the guys who were popular 5 years ago. Like, the sport is changing, it's developing. We got a lot more guys coming into the UFC every single year. We got more and more people who are showing up And there's going to be some main events that we don't know who the fuck's fighting. And it's going to be like, well, who are these guys? But you know what? You might be saying that now, and later down the road, you never know. What's that famous fight card that had like Aljamain Sterling was on the prelim card, and like, dude, it was like it might have been UFC
Well,
200. Go ahead.
there was the Conor McGregor card with Ilia Topuria and Dricus and
All on
these like
yes, all on the undercard, and then like
prelims.
now we're watching them in main events, bro. That's just where the sport's going. Like a lot of these guys that were like nobodies are end up headlining fucking cards, dude. Like that's another thing too, man. And like I said, I'm not a fan of Navajo now, but maybe he's headlining a card fighting Olberg. Well, not him and Olberg are on the same. Yeah, they're both out of city kickboxing, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so that probably won't happen, but you never know, dude. We'll probably be watching these guys fighting. And Olberg's another guy that I didn't think would be fighting for or fucking a title holder. And look at him now, you know. I mean, it's interim, whatever, but you know, it's the sports. So, every year, man, we get like 2 or 3 new guys in the mix, and maybe he's a new guy in light heavyweight because I think we were talking before the podcast, dude. Light heavyweight. I mean, outside of like I said, Blachowicz, Ankalaev, Yuri.
Yuri.
Who else? Who else do we have, bro? Like, and Olberg. Who else do we have? That's 4 fucking people, man. I couldn't
guess
even name
throw
you the
Khalil
top.
in there.
Let me look at the top 10 light heavyweights real quick.
Have
'Cause,
you taken a look at these meta rankings, bro?
I'm looking at them right now.
The meta
Paul-
rankings.
Jamal Hill. I totally forgot about Jamal Hill. Khalil
Well, Jamal
Roundtree.
needs to get out of the rankings because he's moving up.
Oh, he's going to heavyweight?
Dude, you haven't seen pictures of him?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, he's so fat, bro. Yo, he literally is not bulked at all other than just eat. He looks pregnant.
Okay, hold on real quick. This is what I'm talking about. Robert Whitaker has had 1 fight at light heavyweight, and he is above Johnny Walker and Jan Blachowicz.
Well, that's why I was asking if you've seen these rankings, bro, because
Yeah,
the way these rankings work are fucking weird, man.
Kamaru Usman just fought DDP. Granted, it's like one of the toughest fights you can have in middleweight, and he's above Bo Nickel and Ikram. That's an interesting take. These are interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see some other ones. Let me see what they got for Walter. All right, let me see if there's any that stand out to me. Joaquin Buckley, who I believe is on a 2-fight losing streak. Am I right? He lost Kamaru Usman, lost Tom Brady, is above Usman. Is number 9, and Usman's 10. Mike Malott is above MVP. D-Rod, who is unfortunately the main event this weekend. All right, I know I'm sitting here like just saying, "Oh, we're gonna watch." D-Rod's a guy I could. Again, I'm a fighter too. I'm a professional, and I would be okay if some people were not a fan of my style. I am never going to be a fan of D-Rod or ever look forward to watching a D-Rod fight. I would be totally okay with watching that whole fight card up to the D-Rod fight and then turning it off. Because it's either going to be D-Rod just throwing 2-punch combos all fight, sitting at distance, just straight 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, or Medic freaking cracking him. That's all it's going to go. But I don't think D-Rod's ever been stopped, so I don't know the likelihood of that. But I'm not a fan of him, bro. I've never been a fan of him.
D-Rod was stopped. Off the top of my head, I can name the one dude, the cuck of the UFC, stopped him.
Okay. Like, dude, I'm not a fan. Like, boring ass fights. I think that's the majority. Holland, decision, unanimous. Ponzinibbio, yeah, he TKO'd him, but dude, the fight was boring as shit. Alex Morono, decision, split. Boring fight. Very boring fight. Dude, I'm just not a fan. I've never been a fan. I never will be a fan. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. Like I said, I fight pro too. Some guys aren't a fan of my style. I'm not a fan of his style.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
So
that's
he's been subbed once by Magny and knocked out by Ian once. So those are the only times he's been finished. So I mean, honestly, maybe Medic does have the shot to land on him, but
who did Medic just murder? He just fought someone and like
Jeff Neal.
that was bad, dude. Like he had Jeff Neal eyes up, snoring. That was, and I thought Jeff Neal was going to be the one to go out there and knock him. Dude, that was bad. You know what? To be honest, Medic probably puts away in the first round, dude. I haven't bet in a little while. I'll happily put down $50 for Medic to go out there and floor him in the first round.
So I'm just thinking, just for the occasion of having you on the pod, maybe we'll post a little Theoren parlay.
Bro, Medic has 11 wins, and 11 wins are by knockout. You can't. He's got 10, and 10 of those knockouts are in the first round. You can't tell me he's not going to go out there and floor D-Rod. He's going to go out there and floor D. I'm telling you, I'd be willing to just say, you know what, fuck it. That's my one bet for the night. Money line. All right, you know what? I'll drop it. This is what I'm going to say. The Rocket to win and not go the distance, whatever that would be called. Rocket by finish. Blahovic by finish. And Euros.
Medic by finish.
And Medic by finish. But Medic by KO specifically. Or I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a guess at what the odds are for Medic by KO.
Plus 3,000. Probably. Oh, but Medic by KO probably freaking minus 250.
Dude, spot on.
I promise you, I'm not looking at that. I'm literally looking at meta UFC rankings.
Yeah,
dude. Like as I'm looking through his record, I knew he was knocking dudes on the first round. I didn't know all fucking 11 of his wins are by knockout. 10 of them in the first round. That is insane. That at welterweight too. That's insane.
Yeah.
He's
Rakic by finish or knockout?
By knockout, specifically knockout. Fuck it, make it first round knockout. Let the streak continue.
Let's see for exact method. Fight props. It's gonna be fucking juicy.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably gonna be like a plus 3,000 without a doubt. And for 3 finishes.
You do Rakic round 1, round to finish. That's plus 275.
I don't know about Rakic round 1. Okay, let me preface this. Rakic by finish, not by specific round, and Blahovic by finish, not by a specific round.
Okay. So
the Medic by first round.
Right. Okay. So altogether, if you got Medic by knockout, Jan by finish, and Rakic by finish, and you bet $10, you will make $235.
Yeah, I'm putting fucking 30 on that same bet this Saturday. This Saturday,
30. That'll get you 705, bro.
Yeah, where's this fight at? Starts at 1 p.m. All right, bet. I'm gonna make sure I do not miss this window because that line's probably gonna change a little bit. I can see Medic becoming a higher favorite as the week goes on, man. Who else we got? Hold on. Are they in Serbia?
Yes, this is the first Serbian card.
Yeah, because as I'm looking at it, I'm like, they got a lot of guys from Serbia on this card. And Slovakia, Wales, Serbia, Austria, Poland, Serbia. Yeah, in his home crowd. Yeah, 100%, dude. I'll probably hit that fight standalone. Like, just drop 50 on it alone. You kidding me? I think I've never been so sure about a bet. This is where I get myself in trouble because I'll sit here and convince myself that this is going to happen and then watch D-Rod go out there and fucking edge out, make this fight 3 rounds and put on a little jab clinic and win the fight.
Well, it's 5 rounds, and honestly, I think that might play more to Medic's favor.
Yeah, me too. But I don't see that fight getting out of the first round, dude. That guy goes out, like I said, the way he hit Jeff Neal a minute in, I'm never going to forget Jeff. I was like, that's bad. He's going to need a lot of time off after that. That was bad.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row for Jeff, too. So,
Yeah, and then dude, when you get knocked out like that, like look, I've only been knocked out one time and it was in my last fight. And that just was a little like quick flash to me and then I got right up. But Jeff was like down for like over 5 minutes. That was when you get turned off like that, that can't be good. That cannot be
Yeah.
good.
Oh man. Yeah, dude. So it's gonna be a relatively interesting card. I'm excited to see the. I think we're gonna get some very fun results just because being in Serbia the first time, fans are gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a great environment. We got some other names kind of popping up on here. Tafit Masayev is fighting Ludovic Klein. Oban Elliott's fighting again. Mark Vologdin. Dennis Bazukia. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Third fight on this card. Matus Rebecki and Kyle Prepelec. There's some. This is going to be, I think, pretty good, at least compared to last week's card. I think we're going to get some fun fights, fun finishes, and
These are the cards where I feel like you just got people getting slumped. Like I feel like the big headliner cards are, and all right, I take that back because the Connor Max card that card was lit until the fucking Connor Max fight. But I feel like these little fight night cards are the gems where like, dude, you just get these banger ass fights where everyone goes out there, throws the fuck down, and I feel like that's gonna happen on this one especially.
yeah.
We got a lot of fighters that don't really have a name yet, and I feel like this is where people like start slowly working their way into like these bigger like numbered cards and shit like that.
Yeah, well, exactly. This is where you're going to find out about the guy that's headlining a card in 8 months.
Right.
When most people are going to go, oh, who's this guy? If you watch this card, you're going to know who that guy is.
Right. I agree. And last thing I'll touch on the Blachowicz versus Sterling fight, I bet you Blachowicz will take him down and fucking finish him.
That's my issue with this fight is seeing Kudalava's success. Kudalava had success with the wrestling against Sterling.
Yes.
And if it weren't for the fact that Kudalava is pathetic and incapable, he would have won that fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, and I will argue Jan should have beat Alex in their fight, and Jan kind of wrestled him for 2 or 3 rounds, so we'll see. I'm going to stand by what I picked. I'm not going to sit here overthinking because then I'll start talking myself out of it, but I do really think that Rakic, Blachowicz, and Medic will get these fights, will win their fights. But if anyone ruins the parlay, it'll be Tybura. I guarantee it. If we get past Rakic and Tybura, we're good.
Oh my gosh. If Rakic loses to Tybura, man, I don't know. I feel like that dude owes the UFC money. Like, give back all the money that they paid you for your career because, come on, dude.
Yeah,
they're giving him the layup of the year.
I know. I feel like that's a fucking trap fight, though, man. I feel like it's a trap fight, and if there's one fight that doesn't hit, it's gonna be that one right there.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, man, I feel pretty confident in both of those. I feel like D-Rod's gonna be the one to screw it up for us if any of them don't happen. But I do feel pretty confident that Blachowicz gets it done, and I think man, I think Rakic should beat Tybura, man. I feel like Tybura is today's version of Olenek, where it's just an old fat dude that needs to retire but won't. Like,
this is one Hail Mary every fight where Olenek tried to just Ezekiel choke everyone, and then if he can't get it, then that's it. Literally.
Yeah.
But except Tybura is not trying to Ezekiel choke everyone. He's trying to do other shit, but still.
Yeah, man. Real quickly, just jumping forward to next week. What we got Quillen Sal killed taking on Mateusz Gamrot. What is your opinion on that one, brother?
Gamrot is very can crack. That's one thing that this guy can always do. Two really good lightweights. I've watched this guy fight one time. I know that.
Dude. He's been.
He finished Dariush. That's right. That's right. This guy finished Dariush. I thought
Remember, he
Dariush.
got dropped by Dariush.
Yeah, and he got dropped by Dariush, and I thought he was going to lose to Dariush. And then he
Really,
turns. I thought
you had
Dariush. Was gonna,
Dariush?
yeah, I thought Dariush was going to go out there and finish him, but I'm not going to take the Malarkey fight for whatever it's worth. I think this is his fight to put himself out there, but this is a tough test because Gamrot is a very very crafty striker. The dude goes out there and he's got a lot of knockouts. He's knocked a lot of dudes out. He's had some really good fucking fights. He had a good fight with Oliveira before he got choked out. Austin Rubovics.
Oh yeah, Esteban Ribovic. Yeah.
That was a banger too. And it's like
Yeah.
Gamrot's good everywhere. He's got knockout power. He's good everywhere. He can grapple you, can submit you. Tough test for Quillen. I'm gonna pick Gamrot, but I can see where Quillen wins the fight.
See, this one is for me like I view this similar to the Navajo fight, where I feel like it's not a good jump up. I don't think Quillen's ready for Gamrot. Maybe if he didn't get chinned or clipped, I should say, by Beneil, maybe I wouldn't be saying that, and maybe I'd say, "Oh, Quillen's gonna do it." But I mean, nobody's really ever made Gamrot look easy,
Yeah.
and I just don't see Quillen being the guy to come out there and do that. He has an impressive little streak, but when I see Nasrat and Jamie Malarkey back to back, I gotta go, hold up, wait a second. I'm not counting cans here. I'm counting wins. I personally love Quillen. I'm not the biggest Gamrot fan, so I really would love to see Quillen get the knockout or, dominate. But
Right.
I think it's too much of a jump, and I think Gamrot's gonna probably get a decision or like later submission win.
Think it'll be by submission?
Yeah, Quillen's only lost once, and that was I think his first pro fight. He got subbed.
I was gonna say I don't think we've seen a lot of his grappling either, so that's gonna be another test. And I mean, I can't remember the Malarkey fight, but I feel like Malarkey would do his usual, just trying to spam takedowns. But
No, actually, that one was Malarkey was trying to strike, and Quillen was chasing the takedown, got him down, and subbed him because
okay,
the world was betting the house on Quillen first round knockout. So of course he had to mess that up and first round sub him.
yeah, I was gonna say because Malarkey's striking is not very good. But
No, I mean there's nothing about Malarkey that I would say could even be called remotely good. It's James Vick 2.0.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, this is like you said, he's got I don't know, man. If he had a little bit more of a tested dudes and then he's fighting Gamrot, okay, but Gamrot's a big jump in class from his last fight. Let's just say that. I'm not saying he's not ready, but this is a big jump up. It's gonna be a war for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And then I think after Gamrot, I think brings us to
We got our
I don't know what I'm going to talk to you next.
Right?
So for the pod, what's your official prediction? Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev.
I don't like this. I don't like this, and I don't think you'll like it. This is just like me basing it off of the Shavkat fight. Dude, Ian's got really good takedown defense on the cage. On the cage. He does all the things right, turns his back, fights the hands, knows when he's not going to get his underhook, and uses his wizard to make angles. Islam's really good at hitting those open space takedowns, and Islam can strike. I think Islam's better than Habib in the sense that he can wrestle you anywhere and he can strike. Whereas Habib can only wrestle. I'm not saying Habib wasn't able to take you down over space, but Islam can take you down anywhere. Islam can strike. Islam's a big welterweight, but Gary is a big welterweight. I don't like Ian at all, but I just think that stylistically he's going to be able to use his length to keep Islam at range, pick him apart, and I think he has a takedown defense to keep the fight standing. That may be a hot take, and like I said, I don't like Ian. I don't like Ian at all, but the guy's really good. I mean, watching him fight Shavkat kind of, and it's dumb saying that in a loss that like, oh, he's really good. He lost, but he didn't get taken down. I think the Bilal Muhammad fight was the wake up for me too. Again, Bilal is kind of whatever, and then Prates too. I think Ian's got the tools to beat Islam. I really do. And then
see, I'm getting that from a lot of people that I trust when it comes to analysis, and I have yet to make an official decision. I don't know, man. I'd like to think that we've seen Islam and Khabib's camp are able to game plan and find the way to beat everyone. But the size difference mixed with the grappling experience from Ian is really the if factor going into this one. And
agreed.
I would hate it so much if Ian Gary wins this one.
Dude, Ian also, dude. All right, and here's my thing. I don't think we realized how much bigger Gaethje was until he fought Topuria, until they were in the cage, and I don't think we realized. All right, JDM is a smaller size welterweight. Ian is a big welterweight. And I think we're going to see it when Islam and Ian are in there that, oh, fuck. Like, Ian's big compared to him. Because, I mean, Shavkat's big. And Ian's big compared to Shavkat. I think Ian, like I said, is going to have the tools to stop Islam. I just think and this is going to sound crazy, I think if he uses kind of the same game plan as like a Strickland, where if he does get taken down and he's not waste energy, just accept he's on bottom, kind of work to not take damage, that Islam do all the work, and then when the round starts over and they're back on the feet, now he can really start prodding at him, because that's something Ian's so good at, dude. Like his oblique kick stops you dead in your tracks. His jab, he's going to stand super long. His kicks are rangy. I think that shit's just going to make such a big difference, man. I know sizes and everything, but I think how Ian uses his size is going to be everything.
Yeah, and that's as much as I've always hated Ian Gary, I've always praised him for how intelligent he is and how intelligent his camp is. And the way they game plan, man. And, he's, as a fighter, he's smart. I got to clarify. Yes. As a person, he's not. I mean, unless you think that women should rule the world. But I think that, yeah, man, if someone's going to be able to figure out the game plan and actually stick to it, it's going to be Ian Gary. But, if it does go like you say and, not taking any damage, and he's trying to wait out until the next round, we did see that exact game plan from JDM, and that did not serve him well. So, right. Maybe the size will allow him to implement it better than JDM did. But
I do like how you bring up JDM too, because JDM is the perfect matchup for Islam, I think, because JDM likes to fight in close in the pocket, and Islam was just, dude, the second they would start trading, he's on his hips, and there's nothing he can do about it. Whereas Ian, like I said, is going to snipe him out. And Ian's got very, like you said, very crafty strike. As a fighter, he's excellent. He's an excellent fighter. Personality-wise, I wouldn't hang out with him. But as a fighter, I think he's got the skill set to beat Islam 100%. Just because also, too, like, a fighter's only as good as his last fight. And Islam looked pretty fucking good in his last fight. But so did Ian. And the fight before that. And even in his loss against Shavkat, he looked pretty good. So the only fight he didn't look good in was MVP fight. But other than that, it's like, he did fight MVP, right? Or that was a long time ago.
No. Yeah, he did fight MVP. Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was the only fight he didn't look good in. But I just feel like that stylistically, they weren't going to make a very good fight. But, dude, he's looked good in all his fights, especially against Prates, like I said. I mean, Prates looked like he didn't want to be out there after a couple rounds. And then Bilal, like, I thought Bilal was going to fucking ragdoll him. Didn't even happen. And that kind of, when I saw that fight, I was like, all right, dude, if Bilal couldn't do that to him, I don't know if Islam can. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm sticking with Ian throughout the fight. I think Ian Gary will beat Islam 100%. And when they drop odds for that fight, if Ian is a dog, I think you should hammer the money line. If he's a dog, 100%.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Because I feel like that's just going to be such a free play. Like, do I see him finishing him? Maybe. Do I see him submitting him? Fuck no, to KO. But can I see it going 5 rounds? Yeah.
I was gonna say, to me, this reeks of a 5-round fight. I don't think Ian's gonna be able to finish Islam, and if Ian has showed us anything, it's that he's durable enough to not get finished by Shavkat. So I don't think Islam's gonna necessarily finish him either. So I would say, it's a bit early now, but when odds come out, betting on this fight to go the distance, hammer that shit.
Yeah, and I think that Ian is also smart enough to not go trying to chase a finish if it's not there. And I think he'll be okay with just winning the fight on the card and fucking piecing him up all fight. Because, dude, I can already see it. I can see Islam kind of getting frustrated. It's frustrating when you can't get inside, and the size is just good. The size is going to be such a factor just because he's so fucking good at using it, man. I'm telling you, I have a feeling that's going to be the biggest X factor, how Ian uses his size difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny because I feel like at this point in time, I don't feel like the matchups that we're getting are as crazy stake-wise as like we've had in the past,
Yeah, I agree.
But as the sport evolves, man, I will say the matchups do get so much more hard to break down, hard to predict, because when you got 2 guys that are so good at both realms, you really don't know what's going to happen. And
that's been the biggest thing with the sport. I would say in the past, probably like 7 years is, before COVID, you had guys that, like, on paper, it's like, this guy's going to fucking win all day. This guy's going to win all day. And I mean, even when I first became a fan of the sport, dude, fights were so easy to call. Like, me, my dad, and my brother, we would sit there and right when the main card started, pick each fight, and I'd hammer each one of them. It's like, that he's obviously going to win. He's obviously going to win. He's obviously going to win. Nowadays, dude, fuck, man. I'll sit here, watch a card start to finish, and I'll go like fucking 3-16, and it's like, well, what the fuck do I know? And it's like, stuff's so hard to pick nowadays, man. There's not a lot of guys who make it to the UFC without being proficient in everything. And if you are, it's going to get, or if you're not, it's going to get exposed sooner or later. Someone's going to go out there and show you, like, yeah, you're not that fucking good at stopping the takedown. You're not fucking that good at stopping a ranged striker. You're not that good fighting in the pocket when someone can fucking tuck their chin and throw shots at you. Like I said, when Ilya showed Charles wasn't that good fighting in the pocket. And then Justin showed Ilya he's not that good at eating punches coming from different angles, coming from uppercut angle, coming over the top, the jab, all that stuff. It's like, you just got all this different shit now, man. It's so hard to call fights.
Yeah. But honestly, that's what makes this sport better than any fucking sport there is,
Especially the World Cup.
Yeah, fuck that shit, bro. I think I was talking to V. We were talking about a fight and just how, the stakes of any fight are so much different than like if you look at just generic sports. Like you look at any guy and it's like they have to consistently compete and win for their name to be in the mix, you know? And then you look at like the New York Jets, who can lose every fucking game in a season, and you know damn well that they'll be competing again next year. It's such a weird thing in mixed martial arts where, you know, the relevancy is so limited and it's so specific.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, fuck, man. Think about like Ngannou, heavyweight champion of the world, leaves UFC, gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and like, what have we heard about Ngannou since? Like, he won the fight in PFL, and then, like, you know, he's just not really relevant anymore. And it's like that guy was one of the most talked about fighters in the world too. I feel like MMA does such a bad job of like praising the guys who like were the not even like the pioneers. I absolutely fucking hate with every part of my soul when I'm talking to someone and they're like, "Oh, do you do that MMA?" "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do." "Oh, well, yeah, I used to know a guy who trained with the Gracies." Cool, dude. Like, what are you trying to tell me? "Yeah, Hoist was one of the best fighters of all time." It's like, for his time frame, yes. Of all time, doesn't even touch top 10. For his time frame, yes. I fucking get so sick of it when people try to tell me like Randy Couture was the best fighter of all time. I had a friend tell me this before. Randy Couture is the best fighter of all time because he won a title in 2 weight classes. It's like, okay, that is a good argument because he won the title in 2 weight classes. But aside from that, Randy's game was not good. He was a very undersized heavyweight. He got beat a lot of light heavyweight. And he just, no way he's the best. Like, I hate when people, like, I guess I'm going to say it, old heads try to throw fucking all these random names at me that are decades old. And it's like, dude, it's, all right, this is going to be a hot take. This can get clipped too, because, you know, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. When someone tries to tell me Jordan was better than, is better than LeBron, first off, it just shows me they only watched a certain period of basketball and never really watched LeBron. You can say the 6 rings count. Well, if you're going to give me 6 rings that MJ has, then I can say Bill Russell's the greatest basketball player of all time, okay? Robert Horry is one of the best basketball players of all time because Robert Horry fucking won 5 rings with the Spurs and the Lakers. As a player, and in the time that they played, because like I said, this is the argument for Hoist Gracie. Hoist Gracie is the best fighter of all time. No, he's not. He just was great for the time he had because he's doing something no one else could do. At the time, MJ was one of the best players of all time. You could pick any team in the league, take their best player right now and throw them in the 90s, and they would be averaging over 30 points as well. The defense, and you can argue that defense was, oh, they played harder defense back then. Yeah, because they didn't know how to fucking play defense. They didn't know how to play fucking defense. They were just hacking at everyone. They were hacking at everyone. And everyone's like, oh, MJ did this, did that. Yeah, he averaged 30 points a game. He did it by him. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You're stuck in the past. You got to accept that sports evolve and people get better and people become way better than what they were in the past. We get smarter as we get further along. The sport gets smarter. The players get smarter. The training gets smarter. Everything about the sport gets smarter. And we've seen that in MMA, dude. Like, we've seen that. Like, think about Chris Lieben. Let's use him for example, because I'm just thinking about that.
I love that you're bringing up Chris Lieben, because I am actually, this last week, bro, since my injury, I just started binge watching Ultimate Fighter. I got 1 episode left of season 1. And, dude, I love that guy. Chris Lieben, man.
I love Chris Lieben too, man, and the guy's done a lot. I know he had a hard time with alcohol and abusing, and he's clean now. I'm pretty sure. Good for him. But dude, his style of fighting, he wouldn't be able to get out of regionals with that style of fighting today. He wouldn't. He really wouldn't. Like, a lot of regional fighters are better than dudes that were in the UFC in the dark ages between UFC 20 and shit, 70. Like, you had revolutionary fighters that changed GSP. Changed the fucking game. GSP was the original rubric for what a complete fighter was. He could strike with you. He could grapple with you. He could fucking do it all. And look at what you got to do nowadays. You got to do it all. You can't have one trick fucking guys anymore. Like, you can't. Like, we talked about this. You can't have a guy that can only do half the game because it's going to get exposed when he gets to the big stage. And Chris Lieben, I love the guy as a fighter. When he got exposed by Anderson Silva, a dude who could really knock him out and really put shit down on you, it showed, oh shit. This guy can't. If he were to do that today, he fought at middleweight, dude. He would have been an undersized middleweight. Imagine him fighting Joe Pyfer. Imagine him fighting Adesanya. It'd be fucking murder out there, bro. The sport, just because the sport has gotten so much smarter, these guys know how to train better. They know what disciplines to really focus on, hone in on. We're not training bullshit anymore, man. We're training what works. Like there was a lot of blurred lines back then of things that worked and didn't work. We know what works now, man. And same thing, back to the basketball thing. I'm not saying we know what works. In basketball, we do, but every year players get better. We're seeing more scoring. We're seeing fucking Russell Westbrook average a triple-double for like a year and a half straight. It's like we've never seen that. And it's like, yeah, the guy doesn't have a ring, but dude, that's insane. That's insane. If there was a guy doing that back in the 90s, he would have been the GOAT. Russell Westbrook in the 90s, he'd be the greatest player of all time. He would have won fucking 10 championships. 90 through 2000, he would have won 10 championships. No one would have stopped him. If you put him on the Seattle Supersonics, he would have won it. Because I'm saying that because they were the Supersonics before they became OKC Thunder. He would have won every fucking title on that team in the 90s. If he was old enough, obviously. But it didn't happen. And then, as I said, the sport got bigger. More players were like, dude, like you got fucking guys that are getting scouted and like, I could go down a whole rabbit hole of basketball, how they're like genetically like enhancing kids like further and further, like when they're young to like play basketball in the future. But I won't go down there because I'm gonna stick to the MMA now. But as I said, because I've been ranting for like 5 minutes, bro, the sport has got so fucking smart, and I absolutely hate when people try to tell me, oh, well, the better fighters were in the past. No, they fucking weren't, bro. No, they weren't. They really weren't. And I'll even say Conor McGregor, too. Conor is such a good fucking striker. Such a good fucking striker. Number one showman of all time in the UFC. Number one fucking promotion seller. Knew how to sell a fight. Knew how to promote. Knew how to do everything. Could get in there and fucking tag you, bro. Like, literally, the guy has such good fucking striking. The way he turns his left hand over. The way he throws his kicks. Great striker. Chad Mendes, when they fought, took him down right away, and I was like, this fight's over. And then Chad Mendes goes out there and dies on it. Like, dies. Like, looks like he fucking looked like... It looked like he just swam to Alcatraz and back. How tired he looked when he came out of that second... off the stool in the between first and second round. Because I'm sitting there like, this fight's over. Connor's about to get finished. But that showed, like, such a big hole. Like, this guy can't get off his back. Can't.
Yeah.
And then when he fights Khabib, what happened? When he fought Dustin, what happened? He got stuck on the cage. He got taken down against the cage. Got hammered. It's like, dude. Again, Conor did, and I'm not saying the guy didn't train grappling. He's like a fucking black belt jiu-jitsu. But there's different levels to it, and there's different shit that guys train. And obviously, Khabib was like, I can take this guy down and will, because he did. But the sport's gone so fucking good, man. I don't know what put me down that rant, but I get so mad when fucking people try to tell me that shit, bro. And listen, another hot take. If you put me in the lightweight division in the 2000s, I probably would have been cleaning house until I fought BJ Penn, because BJ Penn's a very complete fighter. Maybe Diego Sanchez would give me a problem, prime Diego Sanchez, because Diego could do it all, but I think I'd piece him. I know I'd piece up Diego Sanchez. Sean Shirk, I'd make him get tired out, and I'd piece him up too. He wouldn't be able to take me down. I'd just crack him. Who else? I'm trying to think of like all the best lightweights in that time frame. But basically, I feel like, and this isn't me gassing myself up. Like, I'm just being serious. Like,
yeah, right.
That's how the sport's evolved. Like, that's how like rudimentary guys were back in the day. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, but that's kind of how a sport should be. You know, all right, the guys 20 years from now can beat these guys easily at the lowest level. Like,
Yes.
compare that to like power slap, bro. 10
Yeah.
years from now. Oh, he's putting a little more torque in his wrist when you got a
No, you're
sport that
right.
can't evolve.
Right.
Yeah.
I really like that because how do you evolve power slap? You don't. You fucking don't. Like I guess you get a heavier and so you can take a shot better, but how do you evolve it? Oh, you tuck your shin like this and not like this. Like you
Well,
don't
and
evolve.
they just add fouls. That's it. That's like
Yeah.
since they started it, they've just okay. Well, now you can't do this. Now you can't do this. Oh, well, if you do this, now you have to reset. And
Like you
just
don't
adding
evolve that
penalties.
sport. Yeah, and
Yeah,
like that's how you know a sport has longevity in it because it's always evolving. Guys are always getting better. Guys are always fucking and there is a time when eventually like it comes back full circle. You'll see this in your training one day. Like you probably have seen it. I see it all the time. Where like something that you learned a long time ago comes back around and there's like a meta of things that happen like this Dagestani era, like all of the you can't stop their wrestling, can't stop the wrestling, we're taking everyone down. Now you really see a lot of guys keeping fights taking place on the feet. Even Islam dudes aren't just looking to take guys down because then they get stuffed. Like, let's use Volkanovski in Islam, for example. Volk fucking was getting up, stuffing takedowns. It's like you'll run into the guy you can't take down eventually, man. And let me tell you, I've been there. It's a lonely place when you can't take a guy down. So it's better to fucking learn how to do everything.
yeah, absolutely, man. Well, dude, I think this has been fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm very
Always.
glad to get you back on here, get your opinions on all this, man. This is we'll have to definitely get you back on soon. Well, maybe once all this stuff that we just talked about plays out, we'll get and just go through everything.
We'll be back soon. You let me know when because we're jumping back in fight camp real soon. Well, the shoulder is about. I would say the shoulder is about 70%. So within the next couple weeks, we're going to be back to 100. So
that's gonna be
we're almost there.
awesome, man.
But anytime
Samurai
you need
MMA.
an unhinged rant, let me know because I'm always game. I'm always game for it.
Absolutely, brother. I'm excited for and this will be a nice little shout out, MMA Romanov, to hear your little Ian Gary rant because he's very, very invested in Islam in this fight.
But as long as we pick Armin to win, to beat Gaethje, he's good. He'll be happy. I already know. As long as we don't disarm him, he's good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, bro.
Awesome,
Pleasure
brother.
as always, my man.
Absolutely, my brother. We will be talking soon. Thank you, everybody that listened. We'll catch you later.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.